Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and welcome to Detroit Lions Syndicate. If this is your first time here, we talk all things about the Detroit Lions. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want these videos to appear in your feed. 5 players have to be removed from the Detroit Lions roster by tomorrow at 4 p.m. It is the first of what will be 3 cuts coming essentially one after each preseason game. And the Detroit Lions have parted ways with tight end Nolan Gavin, tight end Garrett Griffin, and center Ryan McCullum. These guys played a handful of snaps in the Detroit Lions loss to the Atlanta Falcons, and cutting down the roster is just part of the business. Next week, this time, the Detroit Lions will have to reduce the roster from 85 to 80, and then the giant cut happens after the third preseason game. The Lions are going to have to cut. Each team is going to have to go down from 80 to 53 men. And then after that, you fill up the practice squad. So it's just part of the business. Nolan was an undrafted free agent, and it was a lot of hype surrounding him when he came to the Lions. But him, Ryan, and Garrett are no longer going to be part of the Detroit Lions. So we have 2 cuts coming tomorrow, or sometime between today and tomorrow at the deadline. When those drop, I will be sure to let you know, probably in tomorrow's video. Training camp concluded for the fans last week, but training camp is still very much a thing. And the Detroit Lions were put in a few situations day 14. A couple of the takeaways from game 1 for me, as I stated in my reaction video Friday night, the defense is still a problem. The linebackers are on the side of terrible, the ones that we saw. And when we go up against a running quarterback, we are going to have a tough time. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Lions fare against non-mobile quarterbacks, because if you hear from training camp, the defense was just stepping up and out of control. As a matter of fact, I think today the defense got the best of the offense. The Detroit Lions have a problem against mobile quarterbacks. The linebackers were just unable to keep up, and Mariota and Ritter were able to just scorch us for yards on the ground. And then you had the 4th and 9 that was converted, and the secondary was just terrible. But the first team defense was not in there, so we didn't have Aiden with the pass rush and stuff like that. So we've got to be able to fix that over the next couple of weeks. Good news is this is the preseason, and I don't even know if Matt Ryan is going to play on Saturday. And as far as the quarterback depth for the Indianapolis Colts, I don't know who is on their roster, but the Detroit Lions have some time to kind of fix what's going on when it comes to the linebacker position. We didn't know it was going to be a problem heading into the draft. It was one of the needs that, in my opinion, safety and linebacker that Detroit should have went after very early, but they chose to trade up for Jamison Williams. And like I said, and I'll continue to say this, the defense is going to have to be carried by the offense. The defense is going to do just enough to maybe keep us in games, but most of the work will have to be done by the offense. But we've seen that before. We've seen that with the Kansas City Chiefs and other offenses as well, that their defense is absolutely atrocious, but then their offense can put up points in bunches. That's what we're going to need for our team to be successful based on what we saw after preseason game week 1. I'm just going to pick out 2 instances from this article. I will link it in the description so you can read the other ones that were mentioned here. But I think it's no surprise here of what will be mentioned. So we'll talk about it a little bit after, but let's take a look at Tim Twentyman and Mike O'Hara's thoughts after training camp day 14. This is coming from Tim Twentyman. Rookie linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez has worked his way up the depth chart and is taking a lot of first-team reps in practice. He was playing alongside Alex Anzalone with the first-team defense a lot Monday. There was one play in particular that showed off his speed and range. He faked an A-gap blitz between center and guard and was still able to get out wide and cover the running back in the flat for a no-gain play. His speed really stands out among the linebacker group. Malcolm did find himself matched up with running back DeAndre Swift in coverage in the open field in 7-on-7s, and Swift got him for a touchdown. But going against Swift and the first team guys on offense is going to accelerate Rodriguez's learning curve. Coming from Mike O'Hara, a spark. Tight end Devin Funchess provided one in a practice that seemed to lack energy. Funchess got open on a sharp cut to make a TD catch in the left corner of the end zone. That got a few hand slaps from teammates. No surprise here that Devin Funchess and Malcolm Rodriguez stood out day 14 in practice. They stood out in the preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons. For Devin Funchess, I think it's going to come down to being that third tight end. You have TJ Hockenson, but TJ Hockenson could go down. I really could see Funchess maybe being put on the practice squad. Even though we lost 2 tight ends this morning, we still have quite a bit of depth there at tight end, and it's going to be quite intriguing to see if Funchess survives the second cut. I think he will. It's going to be really that 80 to 53 that he has to worry about. But then again, the practice squad will be an option for Devin Funchess, most likely this upcoming season. So hopefully, I would really like to see him make the team in some capacity, because I think that he gives us a big body frame wide receiver that we don't have, a DK Metcalf frame, a Calvin Johnson frame. He's got the height, he's got the size, and we saw what he could do when he caught that touchdown pass in the preseason game. So I would love Funchess. He had a slow start to camp, but he's coming alive near the end and in the game when it matters the most. Now, as far as Malcolm Rodriguez, we talked about earlier this offseason about green dot potential. He's getting a lot of reps with the first team, and that's what we want to see from a position that we need a lot of help in. So hopefully Malcolm can continue to progress, go into game 2 against the Indianapolis Colts and show even more growth. And maybe, just maybe, he will get the starting job. I want to address something real quick about Roquan Smith. Somebody said yesterday in the comments that we're not ready to make a move like that for Roquan, that we could maybe do something next year. My thing is, Brad Holmes has done more with less, meaning he can make stuff happen if he wants to. He traded up to get Jamison Williams. He could package some type of deal together to bring Roquan here. I know Roquan wants to get paid, and I know he wants to be valued, and I don't know if the Lions have the money to pay him. Roquan Smith was ranked 84 in the NFL top 100 for 2022, and this is a ranking that is made by his fellow peers, NFL players. So I say, hey, we need all the help we can get at linebacker, and if we could somehow get him here, I would say bring him here in a second, because the Detroit Lions need mad help at linebacker, and we face quite a few mobile quarterbacks this season. We've got the likes of Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, we have Justin Fields, and of course Aaron Rodgers, who should not be that mobile at almost 40 years old, but that's something that we're going to have to work on. I put a poll out yesterday asking, should the Detroit Lions make a move for Roquan Smith? And out of 591 votes, 75% said yes, and 25% say no. Will he get traded in division? Probably not, but we have seen it before, so I wouldn't be totally surprised if they did that. The Chicago Bears need a lot of help, and if the price is right and the draft capital is enough, they might even trade in division. I mean, Minnesota did it with the draft with Jamison Williams, so you know, stranger things have happened. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. We have reached 4,600 plus subscribers. We're trying to get to 5,000 before September 8th, 2022. So if this is not your first time watching this channel, consider subscribing, helping me reach that goal. That would be much appreciated. Don't forget, Hard Knocks is tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You still have time to get an HBO Max subscription. You can either get the $9.99 or the $14.99. One has ads and one does not, so you make that choice. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. We need some help at linebacker, so consider Roquan Smith. And as always, go Lions.